Hi everyone, this is Pius. You can call me Pius Midika, aka Msaidizi. And for those of you that don't know me, I work in New York City as a senior investment banking analyst. But I was born and raised here in Kenya, in a very small village inaitwa Kaelo in Meru. And today I'm here to talk about this amazing book that we just launched here at KICC. And The Boy Who Believed is really basically my story, kutoka nikiwa a 7-year-old boy who raised himself, with some dreams that seemed very wild and some of them seemed impossible to achieve. But today looks back, sitting from my one-bedroom apartment in New York City, telling my story and trying to show people that nothing is impossible, because if a 7-year-old boy who is struggling to find a way to carve his own path to success can make it, then this book is proof that nobody is cut not to make it. So it's a very inspirational book. You can find it on Amazon. Yeah, we have it here in Kenya, distributed countrywide by Nuria. And I really look forward to hearing your feedback about this amazing book. So I'm going to open it to my friends here for any questions.
Okay, hi. I really love to know what really inspired you to write this book, and possibly how long did it take you to come up with this book?
Yeah, thank you, Ali. So I'll start with how long this book took. I think it took shorter than I expected. Ilinichukua just 2 years. And that is because I took a break from work to pursue my master's. During that process, nikapata time mob ya kumalizia. The inspiration behind it is I'm a very ardent champion for mentorship. Napenda sana kuonyesha wase nothing is impossible. And I looked at my story, because mi ni mse napenda kupeana talk sana. Every time we go give a talk, people are like, why don't you leave us something that we can look at every time, that means someone needs to be inspired. So this book is for anyone that has barriers to break, or someone that has dreams that seem impossible, because it's a book about breaking the barriers of impossibilities. Yeah.
Many people would really be interested to just know one thing. Looking at the life that you lived in America, of course, it's not the same as the life that most of us live here in Kenya. The opportunities are somehow different.
Yeah.
Does the book also talk about such stuff? Because basically, the life that that America gave you, maybe it cannot give someone who's here in Kenya.
Yeah, that's a good question again. Now, technically, this book actually, if you read the first chapter, it starts in New York, very bright morning in my apartment in Manhattan, and then it takes you back to a very small village in Kenya called Kaelo. And along the way, I take you back again to New York City, where I try to give you a glimpse of my life, leaving my place, going to work, and all those things that I encounter along the way. We have also a chapter called The American Dream. Again, I try to highlight a few things about the American life. But I think you're right when it comes to opportunities. I've tried my best to show people, to highlight that, because that's actually what shaped my story, the opportunities that America gives. And I believe Kenya also has opportunities, but we have a long way to go, because we're still a growing country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and basically, this is not the first book that you've written, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us about the other one.
The other one was basically a very small book. It was, I think, ilikuwa 50 pages. I'm there in high school, powered up and, giving talks. That time, aspiring to be a motivational speaker. I was also, that time, I'd actually met people like T.G. Moore, had, shaped my career in music, started doing a number of songs. So I felt like, I've achieved something. And that book was kind of a story trying to show people, again, the same story, but, a little bit, that, kijana ametoka hapa, so far ako hapa, and these are the things that he has achieved. And it was really meant for students, mostly between Form 1 and Form 4. So we don't have that book anymore. Ilikuwa tu zile vitabu za moment pia kugenerate cash, because ilikuwa kitabu ya 150 bob. So we're trying to make ends meet, and I was like, let me take advantage of that.
Wow.
Write
Okay.
a book.
Looking pengine nikimalizia on my side, looking at The Boy Who Believed, how is the reception so far, and how would you compare it with what you expected, and what are also some of the comments that people are giving you in terms of feedback?
The reception has been amazing, to say the least, both in Kenya and the US. Actually, Kenya, US, Canada, and UK. I think so far those are the only countries I can trace my sales. In Kenya, when I was writing this book, honestly, I didn't have a lot of expectations because, some people know my story, and I was like, this is home. So my main target was the US and Canada, because those are the countries closer to where I am. But I'm surprised because sales here have been almost surpassing what we have in the US. So my people at home, wale watu wanasemanga sijui nabii ana sifa kwao, I think this book has proven them wrong, because people here have been so receptive. And a good example is the launch that some of you witnessed. When we were putting up this launch, we didn't have many expectations. Sisi tulikuwa tunaweka tu launch and then, call a few people, friends and all that. And then all of a sudden it becomes a big event, having, people like PLO, Ezekiel, and all those amazing chief guests we had. So I think we have been surprised. And I can't say my thanks enough to my amazing, amazing people here in Kenya, and express how much I really appreciate and love them.
Okay, yeah. My question is, during your launch, we saw people like Saizé, DJ Mo, tour coming through for your launch. I mean, what has they played in, what role have they played in your life and in the book as well?
Thank you. So Mo and I, we have a history. So tumetoka mbali, and actually he's mentioned in the book. I think in one of the chapters, hapo mwanzo, our story is briefly highlighted there. And they showed up not really because they're in the book, but because we have come from far. And they came to, support and show me that we are together. And actually, for some of you that saw, Saizé was one of the pastors that, was praying. Actually, she was the one doing the opening prayer. So basically, they were not there as celebrities, I can say, but as friends that were coming to, support a brother. So for those of you that have already read or will read the book, you'll see my story with DJ Mo and how we met, and the lessons that I learned, even comparing his, the way he approached me as a boy with nothing, because honestly, I had nothing. I was in high school, Form 3, with dreams of being the next Bahati, Willie Paul, and this guy we meet, I share with him, he gives me his number, I call the next day, and he answers. And that's how the relationship started. PLO. I met PLO recently. I didn't know him, sikuwa namjua. And then we approached him and kindly asked him, we have this event, and he was like, who else is coming? I told him Ezekiel will be there. Wahiga Maura was one of the chief guests who got a last minute appointment or something to attend to. So I sent him those list of guests, and he was like, I'll be there. And unfortunately, he had to travel to Rwanda to meet the president of Rwanda last minute on the day of the event, but he attended virtually, and his speech was there. So the same with Ezekiel. Ezekiel, actually, we reached out on WhatsApp, we talked, and funny enough, became a friendship out of our WhatsApp text. And he was like, I'm more than happy to attend the book launch. And they really, really devoted themselves, and we're grateful.
Okay, my name is Shiko from Eva, and maybe to someone watching this, of course, you have seen a cover of the book. Tell us a little bit about the title, The Boy Who Believed. Tunaona the believed is in red.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Wow, that's the first time actually someone is noticing the red part. So yeah, the believed is in red, and the sun is in red. And this is trying to show the hardships the boy had to go through. I mean, you can imagine at that age having to carve your own path to success. And because that's the time everyone needs a parent. And that's the time you don't have a parent. So ule mtu akukwambia sijui unafaa kufanya hivi, do 1, 2, 3, the things that parents will tell you at that age. And we put this in red to depict that it was not an easy journey for this boy, and even believing, sometimes if it was in green, someone would be like, oh, the color of hope. But then when believed, the word believed itself is in red, shows you that even believing itself was not easy, because how can you believe? This is something I like asking people. How can you believe you can fly when all you've ever done in your life is walk? It becomes very hard. Yeah.
You've talked about the tough journey.
Yeah.
Just so that we don't preempt the content of the book, maybe you can tell us your lowest moment talking of the journey. In a sentence, to preempt.
My lowest moment was after high school, when I had to pack everything and leave, come in Nairobi, trying to find a way to make a life in music, and then having to quit after living in a hostel in Thika for some time, and then having to quit and go back to the village. And I felt like that was the end. I mean, I was done. So you are there, you've gotten your A in KCSE, umeenda Jumbo, umepewa mpaka chance ya kurecord 2 songs, and then all of a sudden even a place to stay you don't have, and you pack everything and you leave the city. And I was like, that's it for me, I'm done. And that was the lowest moment of my life. Yeah.
And of course, times are hard.
Yeah.
And we see the situation in our country, for example, young people don't have jobs, and you've seen most, I'll say most, opting for shortcuts.
Yeah.
Kuna wanasema wanataka wamama. Mambo ni mengi ambayo wana opt for. Labda for you, what kept you moving? And maybe, did you get to a point, Mali, you feel like I can look for shortcuts?
So many times. I mean, we all love shortcuts. Even when you're going somewhere and there are 2 roads, and you will always ask the driver which one is the shorter one. But the problem is that we can't, reflect the same in life, because I always believe nothing comes easy, and if it comes easy, it will go easily as well. And I honestly don't blame them, because, I mean, all of us have seen the kind of role models we have in the society. We have turned to glorifying the things that we never thought we can glorify as a society. And I think people are watching, even these other young people. And that's why some of us have to come up and tell our stories. Like, you and the team come and show these other the younger generations that you guys didn't come here because it was easy. You're not here today because someone came and just akakupea nyota, unaona. So you guys have worked your way up, and this is why we're telling this story, trying to show people that, hey, it's not that easy as some people try to show you. So because if you read this book, The Boy Who Believed, everything has been a journey. You achieve this, you make this, you discover this and this. Yeah.
I've heard you talk about role models, yeah?
Yeah.
For example, back here at home, you're a role model to most of us and most of the students that you've been talking to, or the people.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have a question regarding New York. You say that the first page, I've actually gone through your book, and the first page is in New York City, yeah?
Yeah.
So I believe that in New York we have different, what should I call them? Writers.
Yeah.
We have Gabriel Union, we have different books that are coming up. May I know who among those might have influenced you most, or who is your role model, who influences you in that sector?
Wow. When it comes to writing, I don't think I've ever picked someone to be my exact role model. I have many, but I will tell you I love everything about Obama. Every time you read his book, he makes it seem that nothing he has came easy. He worked his way up, and I love his books. But when it comes to general life, if you've read the back of the book, you've seen Dr. James Mwangi, the CEO of Equity. He's one of the people that have given the comments. He is one guy I've really, really admired, both at a personal level and in terms of the professional life. And I can say those are my 2 greatest role models when it comes to writing and the professional life.
Okay, as we wind up, would like you to tell the people who are watching this video maybe where they can get the book, maybe you have a contact that they can reach you out, an email. Yes.
Yeah. So for those in Kenya, the book is being distributed by nuriakenya.com. So if you go to nuriakenya.com, search The Boy You Believed, you'll find the book there. For those, and it's being actually delivered countrywide. Kwa wale wako those outside the country, be it US, Canada, UK, you can get the book on Amazon.com because actually the book is published through Amazon. So just go to Amazon, search the same, The Boy You Believed, and the book will be delivered to you wherever you are.
All right. Just to ask this, I know it will be weird to make you maybe think outside it. This is more of a suggestion. I don't know if there are plans, maybe you've mentored, or you have adopted maybe a young girl, a young boy back at home. And then are there any plans maybe with your schools, maybe the people that maybe mentored you up to where you are today, maybe you're working with them, maybe a small course you give it back to the society?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, we have been running the Symbolism Empowerment Initiative. It's a non-profit registered here in Kenya. Tumefanya vitu mingi, especially hapa Nairobi. Tumefanya tournaments na Ekodida. Tumepeana sports, football jerseys, maviatu, mipira, and all those things. But basically, our main area is mentorship because we believe if someone came and gave me food and all those things, singekuwa hapa leo. But because someone mentored me, I'm able to stand here and mentor someone else. So when it comes to what we are planning to do, God willing, once I go back to New York, I'm planning that we are going to be robust, have more mentorship programs. And actually, before I even go back, starting this Friday, we have a talk in a college here, actually in Thika. And then after that, I'm expecting to go to a few high schools to give talks. That's part of the things we do. I'm planning to go back to my school where it all starts for a school uniforms drive. What else? We have a number of things on the pipeline, and God willing, we'll be able to accomplish them and also call you to participate in helping us do them. Yeah. So I just wanted to say thank you again for everyone that showed up for our book launch at KICC, and even those that didn't show up and still bought the books, and many of you that are going to buy these books. Please give your reviews, give your feedback, and also thank this amazing team for coming to share the story of The Boy You Believed. Tukipatana Nairobi, just say hi. Tunaweza pata, mimi ndio niko na tiketi yako ya kwenda New York.
Thank you so much.
All right.